Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to learn about the automatic storage class in the C language. Okay. So previously we have seen the different storage class in the C language, that is automatic, register and static external type of the storage classes. So now we will see the features of the variable defined in the automatic storage class. Okay, so here the main thing is storage, default initial value, scope and lifetime. Okay, so normally a particular variable or function will be stored in two types of memories, that is a memory or register. Okay, so here we are going to consider the storage. So the storage will be in two formats, that is memory or register. The automatic storage class is going to store the variables in the memory and the default initial value. Okay, so normally if you are allocating a memory, then that particular memory address will be allocated is a garbage value. Okay, so the default initial value is an unpredictable value which is often called a garbage value. So here the initial value is not specified, so the compiler will take the default initial value. So next, coming to the scope of the variable. So the scope is local to the block in which the variable is defined. Okay, so we know that scope means availability of the particular variable. Okay, so in which part of the program that variable is available. Okay, so here the variable will be available local to the block where the variable is defined, and the lifetime of the variable, so till the control remains within the block in which variable is defined. Okay, so throughout the block where the variable is defined, the lifetime will be extended. Okay, so now let us know some more about the automatic storage class. So this is the default storage class for all the variables declared inside a function or a block. Okay, so normally the syntax of any storage class is storage class name followed by data type and followed by the variable name or function name. Okay, so normally if you are not going to define the storage class name, then the compiler will automatically consider the default storage class as auto. Okay, if you are not allocating the storage class to the particular variable, then the compiler will automatically assign the default storage class, that is the automatic storage class. So they can be accessed outside their scope as well as using the concept of pointers. Okay, so automatic storage class, so this storage class can be accessed outside of their scope also as well as. Okay, so we can use this, so we can use a particular variable outside of the scope by using the pointers concept. So they are created when the function is called and destroyed automatically when the function is exited. Okay, so the automatic storage class is going to allocate the memory for the variable when the function is called. Okay, and it is going to destroy the memory of the variable automatically when the function is exited. So now let us see an example about the automatic storage class. Okay, so here, so we have defined the header file followed by main auto space int I comma j. So we are taking two variables I comma j with data type integer and storage class auto. So we are going to uh, declare the storage class name of automatic with auto. Okay, and print %d comma I comma j. So if you're going to execute this program, so then it is going to print the memory of the memory allocations of the I and j. Okay, so it is going to print the memory address of the I and j. Okay, so here it may print any value. So based on the computer, it will print the value. Okay, so normally it is going to print the garbage values of I and j. So when you run this program, you may get different values since the garbage values are unpredictable. So you have to properly initialize the automatic variables. otherwise you will get unexpected results. Okay, so to know the scope and lifetime of the particular automatic variables, so now let us see the another example. So in this program, so we have defined header file and the program execution starts from the main. So here it is given a variable j equals to 1, so with the automatic storage class and integer data type. And in the next stage we have given, okay, so we have opened the parenthesis here and we have given the j equals to 2 and then j equals to 3. Okay, so now the scope of the variable j equals to 1, so is up to the end of this program, so up to the last last button parenthesis, the scope will be available here. So till this parenthesis gets closed, so the scope is available for all the variables, that is j equals to 1. Similarly here, so the j equals to 2 scope is available up to this part. Okay, so up to this part the scope of j is available, and here the int j equals to 3, so the j equals to 3 scope is available only to this part. Okay, so here so in the pair of parentheses only that the scope is available, so that particular area, that is a pair of parentheses, so the scope is available. Okay, and visibility means accessibility of the variable, right? So here we can access the variable here. So here the compiler is going to treat the j's which are defined here totally different variables, since they are defined in the different blocks. Okay, so once the control comes out of the innermost block, the variable j with value 3 is lost. Okay, so here the output of this particular program is 3, 2 and 1. So why? Because so the compiler will start compiling this program, and here the printf %d comma j. So here the local to the printf statement, so j equals to 3 is assigned, right? So now it is going to print that particular variable. So j equals to 3 it is going to print. So then, so it will come out of that innermost block. It will come out of that innermost block. So the output is 3. Okay, so it will come out of the innermost block, and next here printf %d comma j is given. So now it is going to print the value j equals to 2 here. Okay, and here it is going to come out of this innermost block. Okay, so now it is going to print the variable here, so %d comma j, so it will print the variable j equals to 1. Okay, so here we are going to know about the scope, visibility and lifetime of the variables. Okay, so normally scope means the area of the program, so where that variable is available, and visibility means so where we can access the identifier. Similarly the lifetime means so only in the particular area of the program, so that the memory will be allocated to the variable. So after it comes out of that particular block, then the lifetime will expire. Okay, so if you come to the scope, so here int j equals to 3. Okay, so here the j equals to 1, so j equals to 1 scope is available throughout the entire program, right? So it is available throughout the entire program, and j equals to 2 is available only up to this part. Okay, so j to 2 scope is available. Okay, but we cannot access the j equals to 2 variable scope here in this part. Okay, so similarly here j equals to 3, the scope is available only to this particular block. Okay, so even though here it is under the scope of j equals to 1 and 2, so if you want to know this, so draw a Venn diagram here. So 1, 2 and 3, so this is 3. Okay, so here, so under the variable j equals to 1, so 2 is there, 3 is there, but we cannot access the variable 1 here in when the block is 2, when the variable scope is under 2, also we cannot access the variable 1. Similarly, when the block is under the scope of 3 also, we cannot access the variable 1 and 2. Okay, so that is the scope and visibility. So here we can print only 3. So here the 3 is available and as well as accessible, so it will get printed. Similarly here j equals to 2 is available and accessible, so 2 will be printed. Now j equals to 1 is available and accessible here, so it will get printed. Okay, so here 3 is available, but 3 is available as well as accessible, so that's why it will get printed. So here even though the remaining variables, okay, so when we are executing the 3, so even though the remaining variables 1 and 2 are available, we cannot access that variable. So if you are in the block inner block 2, so we can, so here the 1 is available, but we cannot access that variable to print. We can print only 2. Okay, so like this, so we can print the variable. So now coming to the lifetime of the variable. Okay, so lifetime of the variable, so when we come out of the innermost block, so then the variable value j equals to 3 is lost. Okay, so here the lifetime of the j equals to 3 will get destroyed. So when we get into the innermost block, so here first the j equals to 3 is allocated, so after printing the variable it will get released or destroyed. Similarly, if you are coming out of the this innermost block, that is j equals to 2, then so after printing the variable j equals to 2 here, okay, so it will get destroyed. And similarly, after printing the j equals to 1 value, so it is after coming out of the block, then this variable, that is j equals to 1, will get destroyed. Okay, so like this the lifetime is available only up to that particular block. Okay, so this is about the automatic storage class. Thanks for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.